Hello, everybody. So, how was the first 20 minutes? Beautiful. Okay. So, as you all know, I'm Brian Smith, IA Business Advisors. This is Mike Ciganek. He is one of our associates in Chicago, and he is our team leader for some of our technology initiatives and our marketing initiatives. So, we're going to quickly go through. I know most of you probably know what IA does. Some of you probably know we struggle sometimes with our identity, and we've been afforded a way to kind of share with you what we are, which is Fractional Executive Services. What does that mean? Is that you can buy our time for a short amount of time to fill in for those things that happen in your business that you don't really need a full-time CEO, CIO, CFO, so an executive for or a person for. You put us in a drawer, you have a problem that comes up, we come in, help you solve that problem, and then you put us away. You pay us for that, whatever amount of time that you use us for. That's what fractional means. Okay, so everybody, most of you probably know, we do business in 36 countries, all 50 states, got 80 some odd full-time employees and contractors. I've been in the business since '96. We have a really diverse client base. We've had over 18,000 clients in that time. We've helped lots and lots of people. We are a people, process, technology, and idea company. Some people say we try to do too much. My clients would tell you we don't do enough sometimes. They want us to do more, but we outsource a lot. We partner a lot. People hire us because we have relationships. We have a lot of relationships. So we can bring to bear solutions very quickly because of those relationships. Next. We use our own methodology called BizVision. It gives us an under the hood look at our clients that goes into a very structured program that tells us everything that we need to know to be the best advisor to your company. And they're all tweaked. Each BizVision that we do is based on what services you've requested from us. Oftentimes there's off-ramps or there's parallels. Michael just told a story about how somebody asked us to help them with bookkeeping services, and it turned out they had bigger problems in accounting policies and procedures. So sometimes what we're hired for leads to something else. It's kind of like having someone come in and fix a leak in your house, and you tell them that there's a leak in the roof, but it's really not the roof, it's something else, right? It's the chimney was leaking or the gutter system wasn't working. So these are the primary services that we order or offer. CEO, leadership. Things I do in the KEC industry for fractional CEO services: strategy, market penetration, mergers and acquisitions, motivation, culture, so training development, underlying policies and procedures, and setting goals and reaching goals. So that's what the CEO does, right? We lead from the front, and we go out and we set those initiatives, and we ensure that our team has what they need to reach their goals. CFO, I am an accountant by education, and I use my accounting degree every day. So tax strategies, investing. One of our companies, I bought an accounting company last year, right? Last year? Yeah.
Oh,
so we have a whole team full of accountants. So we can do tax strategies, budgeting, forecasting, looking at past finances, analysis, understanding what ROI is, understanding what your metrics are. So, and sometimes that's all you need is, look, I got this P&L, and my CPA is a tax CPA, and he's not really quite putting it into context for me and what it means in my industry. We can help with that. So, because sometimes our professionals have their blinders on. We have the same problem sometimes. So, and we'll tell you, hey, we think you need to go somewhere else to get that help. Next one, CIO, I'm going to turn it over to Michael because he leads our CIO initiative right now. Go ahead.
So jumping into the technology portion of it is, and I'm sure many of you have experienced this with either your employees or some friends that you have, not everybody's capacity for technology is the same, right? Some people are great using a CRM and tracking certain information about their customers, while other people would rather just pick up the phone, make a call, and then write it down on a sticky pad. And it'll be that person that's got 100 sticky pads on their desk and no reminders set in their Outlook calendar, right? So that's one of the aspects of our fractional executive services that we really come in and understand not just the technology, but what your company does and how we can help your employees do that more effectively. So you get a better ROI on that. Maybe you have a CRM. Why not just use a CRM? Maybe you have a CRM like Salesforce, one of these giant CRMs that has all the bells and whistles. But you don't necessarily either A, understand how to use them for your benefit, or B, it's just kind of a wasted expense. The money lost by businesses spending money on software that just renews every month, as business owners, I'm sure you see that bottom line. Where is this going? Where is this going? I got all these software renewals, and that's not people in trucks out making money for you, right? With the marketing, branding, and innovation, our scope of work goes from developing a brand strategy for you all the way to digital marketing. The best way for clients to find you is for you to be in the digital world nowadays. Does anybody still advertise with a phone book? I went to find a phone book here because I wanted to slam it down on this table and ask that same question. Because how many people are picking up a phone book to find you all, to find anything? Most people go to Google, you go to Bing, you jump on the website, and that's how you get your information quickly so you can get connected with them. People aren't picking up phone books anymore. And especially with some of the smaller companies in the KEC industry, there's not a very prevalent showing. Either they don't have a website. I mean, you're not tracking the reputation management of your company unless you get a bad review. Have any of you gotten a bad review on Google Reviews? Nobody? That's good. You guys are doing awesome work. But when a client gives you kudos and thanks you, are you telling them to go out there and review you and to talk about your company? Typically not. Most companies are afraid, or they just don't ask for a good review, while we know that if somebody's upset about something, they're going to complain. It seems like it's human instinct to get angry and tell the world, especially nowadays with social media, that, oh, this company was terrible. They didn't do what they said they were going to do. So reputation management is increasingly going to be a focus for companies. One example I like to give, and I didn't give it in the last presentation, but I started out starting an internet department at a Toyota dealership. This was like 12 years ago. And one thing that came really, it was very apparent, well, not just apparent, but it was a story in which there was a Green Bay Packers sales manager. And then there was a Bears sales guy. Just a regular car guy goes out there. Well, the Packers beat the Bears. So this guy wears his Packers tie the next day. And the manager told him to take it off. He's like, why am I going to take my tie off? No, he thought it was a joke. So he ignored him. He asked him again. He didn't do it. He asked him again, and then he fired him. He fired his sales guy because he was wearing a Packers tie, because that was the Packers and Bears had just played each other in the NFC Championship. I don't know if you guys can remember 12 years ago, the playoff schedule for the NFL. But they got horrendous coverage. Their social media, it was in newspapers, it was on broadcast. Their reputation just got trashed instantly from that guy making a terrible decision. But it didn't take a newspaper a couple of days to get that out. That information on their company page, their reputation was just getting trashed. And it takes a lot of work to recover from that. It's easy for people to leave a bad review about a company, but a company has to do a lot of work to get that off of people's minds. So So what's your brand worth? That's really what it comes down to. If you don't want to have a presence because either A, you don't think digital technology is something that your clients understand or look at, people want social proof that you're doing a good job, that you're keeping people safe, that you know what you're talking about. What separates your brand from your competitor? What gives you that edge? How do you educate your clients on that? How do you find new customers? Is it referrals? Do people just cold call into your organizations? Anybody? Referrals? Typically referrals? Okay. Do many people find you? Probably it's an emergency situation when somebody has to find you quickly. They just jump on your website and it's a cold call? Is there not many cold calls that you all get?
Some, but not many.
Okay. So one of the aspects of technology that we've been working on, and this was started by Rob Hove, he did a great job, is a CRM, customer profitability database. Are you guys using CRMs right now? Anybody? What are you using, Scott? Salesforce. Anybody else?
Rob's right there. He uses this.
Yeah. Yep. Rob's right here. So do you guys see a benefit in tracking the work orders and the projects that you have or the clients that you have your people go out to manage and their contact information? Do you guys track all that, or is it Excel spreadsheet? I see that a lot with an Excel spreadsheet. ACT? Okay. Any other ones? Well, ACT.
Who's on service trade?
There we go.
Okay. Any other service-based, jobber, anything, field services, just service trade, and then, okay.
Do you feel like with Salesforce, Scott, it's an effective tool for you? Why would you say that?
It keeps you organized.
Okay.
It crosses all the platforms, your laptop, your tablet, your phone, you're in constant contact with your prospects and your opportunities. We use it on the sales side. We use service trade on the operational side for tracking customers and
So after,
from a sales point of view, it's great. It's great, keeps you organized, create your own tasks, and schedule stuff way out in advance. It's awesome.
and when you're being proactive and scheduling those appointments and everything farther out in advance, I mean, you're pretty much putting that money in the bank, right? Once your team goes out there and services that client, are they then setting the next appointment, and are you tracking that? I mean, it's something very simple that just puts the money in the bank for it. All right, we know we got to do them every 90, 120, 180 days. But tracking that's pretty difficult if you don't have a tool that can put it all in one spot for you. So with this database is designed for smaller companies who either A, haven't used the CRM before, and it's very, I don't want to say simple because it's not simple, but it's got all the specific tools. It's not like a Salesforce where it's got a little bit extra bells and whistles to it.
Yeah, it's a collaboration of CRM and operations like service trade. It kind of marries those two in a way with a bridge from customer information management and who the customer is and what's important to your customer that drives decisions for you to support that customer, and then it also tracks the things that service trade, for those of you who know what that is, like work orders and scheduling, and if you've been paid or not been paid, performance of how your work orders are going. So it's a marrying of a CRM and an operations system. Is that accurate, Rob? Okay.
Specific to your industry. So it's not something, it's a Windows access database, so it's very, very simple and a very low learning curve for your teams. Sometimes with these more advanced CRMs, there's a lot, like I said, a lot of bells and whistles, and you got to do a bunch of stuff to track this information. This is designed specifically for the KEC industry and tracking the necessary information that you would be tracking as far as pricing, contacts, your crews, the deficiencies and repairs. Right? So if they go out there and they don't fix something or they make a note of something, do you guys track that stuff in one location? This is putting it all in one spot. So you're more educated, A, for your team, but you as the business owner, well, what opportunities do I have to upsell them on this? What other work can we get out of this next potential job? Just increasing the ROI every time your team goes out there. Okay. Yeah.
Does this program archive notes and archive
Yeah.
challenges and business?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Put pictures on that?
Pictures? No, we don't have photos. There's so.
Photo links.
Yeah, you can put photo links to it. And I say no photos, but you can develop the photo links and we could put that within the system, but that would be more of a manual setup where you would click, you could put it in repairs or just in the notes section, and then when you click that, it would take you to either a server link on your network or on your desktop folder or something like that. So
Or Cloud Link.
Pardon?
If you have a cloud-based photo
yeah.
repository, that link could take you to the Cloud Link.
So I invite you to come out to IA Business Advisors, and then it's IKECA CRM, and you'll see there's a video out here that you guys can take a look at and just get familiar with it. It's a free program. It's a free program that we're giving out.
So we're not going to charge for the software. It's the way I described it in the last session. It's kind of like Omni, right? We develop products to solve problems for you as KEC providers. We are taking the same approach. Rob brought us a very stable and good foundation that has worked for his business. Mm-hmm. He's one of you, and we're trying to build on that and to give it some smoothness, if you will, some robustness behind the scenes, and then take feedback from you, and let's make it better. We're not charging for the software. If you have us help you set up the system in your IT infrastructure, we'll charge you for it. If you need to buy software like the Access license, we can help you get that. But at the same time, just like you've heard me say with Omni, if you have your own IT people, if you have your own resources to help you, we'll lend that hand, we'll pass it off, and you can use the people you're comfortable with, and we'll lend support as that's needed, but the software itself does not have a fee. So, and it's ready for you to start messing around with, trying to see how it might apply, have conversations with us, talk about how we can implement it and make it better for you. And if you have any questions, just reach out to us. This 20 minutes isn't enough to have in-depth conversations about what this is going to do, but if you want to have a conversation, reach out to us. We'll have that conversation. I travel all the time, so if you happen to want to have a face-to-face conversation, it's very likely that I'm somewhere around where you're at, and I'll stop by. We'll have a longer discussion. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate your time very much.
I got a question for you related to that, but
How you doing, sir? Grady, how are you doing?
You said you weren't going to come down this way.
I wasn't at first. We just kind of made that decision literally about 10 days ago. And Brian's like, you know what? I think I want you to come to IKECA now. I'm like, it's a great idea. Yeah. How have you been doing with it?
I haven't really done anything with it yet.